So far, no arrests. Police say they really and truly need the public's help to put those responsible for the shooting behind bars. In the meantime, players, coaches, and parents are reliving the horror of what happened. This is a scene that haunts hundreds of people at a middle school football game Wednesday night in Lumberton. Players running and ducking for cover, cheerleaders sprinting across the track, and fans in the stands fleeing after hearing multiple gunshots. I talked with a few parents following the game.
We heard something that sounded like gunshots, and then we saw all the players take off running and laying down in the field.
Police say a 41-year-old woman was shot in the stadium's parking lot. Tonight, she remains in the hospital. Many people say they never thought a middle school championship football game would end in violence. The winning team, the St. Paul's Bulldogs, were on the field for the award ceremony when shots rang out. I talked with the team's head coach, Adam Lowry, about that scary and tense moment.
Very tense situation, but we done our job and took care of the kids as coaches and made sure everybody was okay and safe.
13-year-old Bobby Holloman plays for St. Paul's. He helped his teacher, Donald Weller, who had fallen while running from the gunshots.
And he lays down. I said, he tries to pick his head back up. I push him back down because I'm like, Miss Weller, you need to stay down.
Bobby stopped where he was to make sure that I was safe, and I greatly appreciated that.
The district says, quote, a meeting took place Thursday morning by the public schools of Robeson County leadership that concluded in the decision to add an additional safety feature to campuses during home sporting events. The district will soon begin leasing additional lighting to be placed on campuses, especially in parking lot areas. The district will also take additional safety measures at sporting events.
This is not something we will tolerate at all, and we will, to the fullest extent, cooperate with the law enforcement agencies.
At their November 1st meeting, a tie vote stalled a proposal to reduce the required space on newly built homes in Florence flood level areas within what's called the supplemental flood area. The proposal was similar to one council tabled last year en route to approve the new flood law. One council member told us he voted against the idea to give council more time to see if a reconsideration of the local rule was really needed this week.
My vote was to allow them a couple of weeks to hear feedback, which I think is healthy. No need rushing into something when there's no reason to. And I heard nothing to the contrary, so, it stands.
This comes after the county was thrown into a legal challenge. A developer is appealing a local board's retraction after it signed off on giving them a pass to build about 50 homes near the Waccamaw River without the required extra height. We've now learned the county has filed a request for a judge to dismiss that lawsuit.
The federal prosecutors wrapped up their case against Russell Laffitte, and earlier the FBI special agent Brian Womble really took us down that money trail involving Murdoch and Laffitte and those clients. And one of the clients that they really talked about was Hannah Plyler. Hannah Plyler's case, they say, played a giant role in this fraud case. Now, you may remember from our coverage, Plyler and her sister were in a horrific car accident that killed their mother and brother. Alec Murdoch represented them in this multi-million-dollar wrongful death lawsuit. Laffitte was a conservative for the Plyler sisters as they were minors at the time. According to Womble's investigation, Laffitte told the FBI that loans out of Hannah's account were Murdoch's idea. But Womble says that's not the case. Internal emails about the matter show it was Laffitte's idea. It followed the first ever loan from Hannah's account months earlier from Laffitte to himself, $225,000. That was July 15th, 2011. According to Womble, the paperwork to secure that loan to himself was never filed with the probate court. It was a promissory note for one of Laffitte's bank shares. However, that information Laffitte kept to himself, and according to the prosecution, if anything happened to Murdoch and Laffitte during that loan period, there would have been no way for Hannah to recoup any of that money. Now, this trial is expected to go on through part of the Thanksgiving week next week.